Today we are going to talk about touch-ups. We're seeing a lot of people on different forums that are having no retention when people come in for their touch-up in this bulb area. And they're having retention here, they'll maybe even have lots of blurred lines. And what is happening is it's not an even amount of pressure that you're creating. So we're going to show you how to create the even amount of pressure so you can have a full eyebrow here of very fine, nice, crisp lines. So first of all, make sure that when you dip your microblade pen here, I always wipe it off. You don't want too much ink. You're going to be depositing the ink majority when you color code and let that sit. So ink right now is just so you can see where you're creating your lines and that you won't blend them. And the main thing you need to remember is the bulb requires the most pressure. The middle and arch is medium pressure, and then very, very light pressure on the tail. I mean, barely any. If you have too much pressure, that's when you're going to see a lot of blurred areas throughout here and grayed out. So to create the even amount of pressure that you want, you need to make sure you're not using your wrist, you're not rolling, you're not using your elbow. What you're doing is actually rolling with your fingers. Your hand is staying down on your fulcrum, pinky here. You want to keep an even amount of your pressure on your hand here. So what you're going to do, keep your hand down and you're just going to roll your fingers. Can you see how my hand doesn't move? My fingers are doing the work. Just a roll. So what happens is a lot of people are doing it with their hands. Now you can see as I'm doing it with my wrist, I start going to the side. Now I'm creating slits underneath the skin that are going to be blurred out. I'm also not keeping the same amount of pressure through that whole stroke here. I'm lifting, I'm going deeper. So the main thing you really need to focus on is creating that roll in your fingers, keeping your hand steady down on the client's forehead, or if you're on the side, sometimes I will be right down on their cheekbone. So don't be afraid to get a little close and personal with your client. So there you go. Make sure you're practicing that, not too much ink on that pen, and continue practicing and you'll be golden.